You're live, Andy.
Good morning, how you doing everybody? My name's Andrew Easton, I'm the International Creative Director for Rush. This is Facebook Live number 4, I believe. This is Tracky, my lovely model today. What we're going to be doing with Tracky's hair, I've already pre-cut a little bit of her hair already, so let me just explain exactly what I've done. I've started from the back and worked my vertical graduation. So I'm basically flattening out some of Tracky's hair. So basically I've worked fingers down, knuckles out, and worked through the shape. Working a really nice round graduation towards the front. Now, I've dropped away part of this outline and changed the direction of the elevation. So I basically started at the front and started to elevate over my fingers higher so I can disconnect some of these side areas, just to give her a little bit of softness, a bit more of a female frame really. What I'm going to do now is do completely the other side, finish the shape off, and put all the balance within the foundation. And I'm going to basically start from the middle, taking vertical sections and directing forwards. Okay, so it's basically whenever you work from the back, you're working a really nice, balanced, rounded shape. It's just literally, just really clean and really rounded. So it's, rather than starting at the front where you extend and lower the weight balance. So, I'm going to go back to my middle, use the fine end of the comb, allow some of that tension just to flow into my hands, as we've been talking a lot about if you've been following us at Rush. We're talking a lot about the tensions and how a natural tension of the comb, the fine end of the comb, is how I like to work, so I get a really clean base. So each section just coming out from the head, my body position is going to be moving around with the head shape. Now obviously this is something that we would be teaching on we do courses here at the Academy, obviously. And if you guys ever want to, inquire about a course, please contact us. Contact us at Rush Academy. We actually, what is the email actually, Chris? Sorry.
You can email us, guys, at Rush Academy. At rush.co.uk, and you will get through to someone here at the Academy. Otherwise, you can always visit our website, www.rushacademy.co.uk, if you want to make any inquiries, see what courses we offer, or anything like that.
Perfect.
But Andy, I'm just going to interject, get you a couple of questions.
Yes, please.
So, first of all, seeing you sort of work starting off through the back there, you've taken a section through the top. You've isolated that out.
Yes.
Do you want to? Obviously, that's a big part. That head mapping idea is a big part of the way that we work here at Rush.
I do apologise for not mentioning that, actually, to be honest. Yeah, we've worked a rectangle section. It's what we would call a triple C, because it comes into a very, very light curve through the back on this particular occasion, which is going to build in our weight points through these areas. So when I look in, when we actually finish the shape and we look forward, we're going to have a little bit more of a fullness behind the ears. Mm-hmm. That's why we use this section. Cutting the section quite high through the sides and curving through to the recessions. That is a key point, actually. So at Rush, when we do our cutting hair the Rush way, if you like, or our innovations courses or anything like that, or our collection courses, it really is about planning, head mapping, and the way we work. Before we even put scissor to hair, let's be honest, that's the key. You make a plan, so everything is completely foolproof. You know exactly how the result's going to be, where the weight's going to sit, and that's the key to working very cleanly. Good question, though. So some of the courses we offer, if you want to, obviously, if you would be interested in cutting, we do cutting hair the Rush way, which is everything from, it's almost a bit of a fusion course, really. Yeah. Because we talk a little bit about our fundamentals and our basics, our 1, 2, 3s, if you like, how we sectionally clean, how we keep our tensions really, really clean, our graduations, our layering, our one length, and how we work it. And then we work it throughout the 2 days, and we work with a little bit of limited disconnection, which is basically our disconnection incorporating more of our salon wearable hair, you know, which is quite, you know, commercially wearable, you know, stuff you can really take away, use straight back in your salons, which I think is the key to education. I think everyone wants to learn, you know, the creative stuff, but at the end of the day, it's very important that we do what our bread and butter is. At the end of the day, it's what people are going to, you know, pay for, going to use day in, day out. So we do a lot of our limited disconnection. Limited means that the disconnections in the hair to create more shape, more advancedness to, or expand or slim or whatever, but to make bespoken for the client's needs. Then you've got right the way through, on day 3, we start to demonstrate a little bit of unlimited disconnection, which is more of our creative work. So we kind of fused it in to do this kind of, so you get an overlay of what Rush is about. We have Pure Rush, which is a course devised around our primary shapes, or our fundamentals. Yep, thank you, Chris. Our basics, if you like, you know, our fundamentals, our classics, you know, our graduated bulbs, our layered bulbs, our you know, graduations, layering, just really, you know, our basic fundamental primaries. So we do that course, and that's over a 5-day period. It gives you like a really strong insight into how we work our classic work. And then we're doing a collection course next year, when that's going to be incorporating a lot of the cutting schemes. We did, fortunately, this year win at the British Hairdressing Awards, actually, didn't we, Chris?
Yeah, blowing our own trumpets a little bit, I know, but Monday night we're very, very proud, aren't we, Andy?
We are very proud of it.
We won Artistic Team of the British Hairdressing Awards on Monday, so this is your first day back, Andy?
First day back. I wouldn't have made it back after. I don't think that was possible, to be honest with you. There's miracles, but there's miracles.
No, so amazing news for us. Obviously, we're really, really pleased, and I think it's great news, you know, for the Academy. And a collection we were very proud of, wasn't it, Andy?
100%. I want to thank, you know, all the guys that were involved in the shoot. I'd like to take a personal shout out to, which I really didn't do on the evening, which I'm really embarrassed about. Jack Eames, who collaborated with us on the photography. I've got to be honest with you, thank you very much, Jack. You did a fantastic job. You know, we had a fantastic team there. We've got Robert Morrison doing our clothes for us this year. We're very proud of that, proud of all the styling. So yeah, the whole collaboration and the team got involved. Because I think what we don't realise is the stuff that goes into the shoot before the actual shoot day. It's the prep, you know, the time that goes in, and the people that came down to help us and assist us. I want to thank all those guys. Thank you so much.
So for those of you that are just sort of tuning in, welcome on board. What I always like to say, guys, we want to share the love with as many people as possible. So today, Andy's going to be sharing a fantastic graduated haircut. Please, if you're enjoying it, please like, please share, so that we can spread the word and get the message out to as many people as possible. So, Andy, coming back to the haircut.
Yes, please.
You're just sort of moving around. So you started this sort of graduated shape from the back of the back.
Yes, I have.
And why have you chosen to do that? Because obviously, when I sort of hear people talk about round graduation, I always imagine it's sort of starting the other way around.
You can start both ways. I mean, if I start from the back, I'm going to get a really nice, even head shape here. And I think if I start from the front, my purpose would be a lot more to expand the shape a little bit lower towards the back,
right,
and direct. So on this particular occasion, you can see my sections are working pretty vertical, vertical through the shape, and they're just working very cleanly out from the head shape. Yeah, so I'm going to get a really nice, clean, circular motion.
Cool. And guys, the other thing I'd like to mention as well, we love interaction, we love your questions and your comments. So please, if you want a shout out, or if you've got any questions, any comments for either Andy or myself, I'm Chris Williams, I'm the International Colour Director behind camera again, sharing the love with you guys. If you've got any questions, please put it in the comments box. It will pop up, we'll share those questions, and we'll try and answer them the best we possibly can.
Now, I think I've come to quite an interesting point in the haircut now. So everything's been planned, but I've kind of, as I'm starting to comb the hair and starting to look at it, I actually, on this particular side, I want to leave a little bit behind the ear on this side now. Just looking at it, because I think it's just really working really well. Yeah. So I think what that's going to do is when I've got my expansion coming, because Tracky's hair is worn slightly more to the right-hand side for the front.
Yep.
So I'm going to get this really nice fullness through the haircut here. And I think what would be quite nice, maybe just to give a little bit of a counterbalance to that shape through this area here, just behind the ear. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to work just so I get just to behind the ear, so I'm going to leave this area. Then I'm going to start cutting through the front and working backwards, okay? Then I'm going to come to meet that point and drop out some of that hairline, okay? Just to give myself a little bit of just a bit of detail.
Yeah.
And I think I'm going to take these sides a little bit shorter through the front than the opposite side and work into a bit of length behind the ear, which I think is going to be really interesting. So, I'm going to carry on here, Chris. Sorry, are you in there?
That's all right.
Can see everything I'm
you
doing?
work away. I'll move around you.
Good man, good man. So, I'm going to carry on. Just going to take my last section through this area, and then I'm going to drop that area away from the hairline. Really clean, each section really tight. Now I'm going to start to work the opposite way now. I'm going to start to work from the front into the back, and I'm going to work by dropping this area away. Now I've got a previous shape in there, you can see that.
Sorry, I'm coming this way.
I think this is quite important. We've got a bit of a, sorry Tracky, no, just come with me my darling, that's cool. So we've got a bit of a previous shape in the haircut. This is not something I've worked on today, it's something from the previous shape.
Yeah.
So I'm going to basically use that as a guide and elevate slightly lower and remove some of this length. So we'll touch the base around the base of the ear, and then we'll leave this area here longer. So I'm just going to get some water first. So we're doing a little bit of collaboration here, me and you actually, aren't we, on some of the courses, Chris? What do we do? I mean, what are we going to do together?
I mean, the courses we're really going to collaborate on. I think it is the collections course and Rush Inspirations, Ed.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think for us at Rush, we always work cut and colour together, don't we?
Yeah,
so whatever
100%.
we're doing, and I think you'll have seen, if you've been watching this, you'll have seen we coloured Tracky's hair just a couple of weeks ago. So you know, it's relatively fresh. And it's just sort of faded out, sort of working with that today. But you know, I think really for us it is about cut and colour kind of working together. So whenever we're planning our collections, planning our looks, even our sort of British Hairdressing Awards collection for this year for the art team, we very much sort of talk about how, in this case, the texture, because it was very much a texture driven kind of collection, wasn't it?
It was. 100%.
But how that texture is going to kind of work with the styling, with the cutting, with the colour. So you've got those three elements, and I think that's what kind of makes it work, isn't it?
Yeah, it's 100% true. I mean, I don't think, you know, one is nothing without the other for me.
No, I don't think. I think even now editorial, and I think it's really interesting. But I think even editorial work really now very much involves colour a lot of the time, doesn't it?
Yes, 100%. And I think, to be honest with you, Chris, when I actually look at it now, even when you're shooting black and white, colour's important. You know, we just shot Newcomer with a gentleman for us just shot Newcomer, and called Michael Rackett. Really beautiful collection, amazing. And he's used sprays in the hair to create the texture, create the movement. But it was shot in black and white. But I think without the texture he's created with the sprays, he wouldn't have that extraordinarily cool look.
I think, yeah, he got this really cool kind of metallic look going on, didn't he? With the sprays kind of definitely kind of work with that. But I think even if you speak to Michael, he'll tell you that shooting in black and white was for him a real eye-opener and experience, because working you know, in black and white, all the colours that he thought he was going to work with, he didn't end up working with. And he ended up completely changing his plan, because really in black and white it's the contrast you see in the colour, and not actually the tonal quality of the colour itself.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, it was quite interesting, wasn't it, really, to be honest.
So you're leaving this piece out behind the ear?
I'm leaving it, I'm completely leaving it at the moment. I'm disconnecting it.
I don't know if you guys can see that.
I'm dropping that away.
Shape kind of coming in here, guys.
And I'm going to obviously carve from the other side, drop this area away. But I like the way the curl's coming out now. It's really kind of creating this beautiful texture. Because we are going to be working on a curly dress out here today. I'm going to be working with a bit more of the natural texture in the hair, which I love doing anyway. I love curly hair. For me, It's something that's so much fun. You can just achieve so much with it. And the way, obviously, the way that we work our cuts with precision, you get such a good result. So each section now, going to be working, and I'm going to be now, if you can see what I'm working, if I've done it correctly, which hopefully I have, I come and meet the back. So now these sections here are coming through and then meeting the back graduation. As you can see everything now, completely interlinks, if you like.
Yeah, I think it was good, Ed. So guys, like I say, if you've got any questions, any queries, any comments, we love to share with you guys and get you all involved in what we're doing. So if you have got any questions or anything, please pop them in the comments box. If you want to shout out, let us know where you're watching from this morning. We love it when you guys get involved. We love to kind of answer those questions. So please do put some questions up and do like and do share. If you're enjoying what you're seeing, please like it, please share it so we can get as many people involved in what we're doing as possible.
So I'm going to now come from the back and now work from the point in the middle. And I'm going to remove some of this hairline through my left hand side. That's cool. Using the comb as a steadier.
So how are you planning that hairline end as you're sort of working? Because you've obviously got some kind of plan. So how have you picked to kind of shape that?
I think it really is for me at the moment. I'm out of the way, so I'm just trying to look at the back.
Sorry, yeah.
I'm trying to create this kind of symmetry through the back area here.
Mm-hmm.
I've got the area obviously on the left, we know, that I've disconnected.
Yeah.
Which is obviously, a large part of the overall silhouette. But you can see now I've worked quite a balance between that shape. So this is kind of my foundation, if you like, as I'm working through.
And I always think, I'm sure I always say, but silhouettes of a shape are really important, aren't they? That outline
100%.
Is massively important because, like anything, I think, the outline of a shape is the first thing that you see.
Yes. I think it's quite, it's kind of the graphic side of what we're doing. I mean, Rush, something that's quite unique about the way we educate is really about our strength and movement philosophy. Strength is from, the purity within the outlines or the interiors of the shape, the foundation, if you like. And then we allow this, we like to work with these areas of real movement and texture in hair as well.
Yeah.
Where you've got that kind of masculine, feminine, always crossing over, which is quite fantastic.
You've got Kim Strange.
Hey, Kim, how are you?
Back on, becoming one of our regular viewers. Hi Kim, how you doing? She says, loved the colour the other week and the cut's going to look amazing.
It's going to look really cool.
We've also got a hello from Georgina Whitefield. Hello Georgina.
Yeah, Georgina.
Hope you're enjoying it. And please guys, any comments, any questions, pop them up. We've got Prisco Rochelle Sorbo saying complimented. I think that means they like it.
Good.
So great stuff guys, thank you very much. Please spread the word, like and share, comment. Let's get as much interaction today as we possibly can.
So I'm literally just going to now drop my diffuser on the floor.
Yeah, perfect.
This is really good. I'm going to now dry the hair off through the underneath of the shade. Now this is obviously so I can start to refine. I want to just apply just a really soft point cut into some of this underneath shape, and I'm going to work with a little bit of scissor over the comb just to clean up any tiny little marks that might be in the shape. There shouldn't be any. It should be pretty clean. I've checked it, cross-checked it, and now all I'm going to do is obviously just dust, and I think I might just carve a little bit more graduation through the underneath.
So Andy, got a quick question from Shelley, Shelley Sumner.
Yes, Shelley.
Hi Shelley, Andy, she says, sorry, hi Andy and Chris, what is the reasoning behind sectioning off the top like that? Andy, question mark, and then shruggy little emoji.
Yeah, for me, this section here is building out into 2 points of weight just behind the ear.
Yeah.
So if you can see where the points are, the lowest point of the section, wherever it is going to give you most expansion to the shape. So in other words, when the top comes over, I I get more volume. So having these 2 points here, when I look in the mirror, because this is where our shapes come from,
Yeah.
you're going to have volume. She has got very thick hair. So I didn't want to take the sections too low. So I'm still slimming, but I'm leaving that little bit of weight just so I get more volume. That makes sense to you?
It does, looks good. Shelley, I hope that answers your question. We're going to be leaving that top a little bit longer as well, so it's going to really hang over, mate, to create sort of a really strong shape. So
this is nice now. So, just going to go through my shape using the fine end of the comb. I'm going to start to scissor over comb. A second.
we've got Aviv Hagen just said hi from Israel.
Hello, mate.
We've got Ross Hume saying he's watching up in Aberdeen. Congratulations for Monday night.
Thank you so much, mate.
Well deserved. Love the demos. Thanks, Ross.
Beautiful, mate. Thank you. It was quite an emotional one. We've been chasing this third award for 7 years. 7 years. Last time we won artistic team was 7 years ago, and it's put us now in the Hall of Fame. So to be honest with you, it was one that we've really been going for. And if any of you see the Instagram, you can watch it on Instagram, or you can watch it on Facebook. You can see my face; it really shows it. It was 7 years of pain, you know. It's kind of coming out and releasing. So yeah, it was good. Thank you so much.
So where you're scissor over combing here, Andy?
Yeah.
Yeah, just refining the shape,
Just
cross-checking.
refine.
What's the purpose of
We're
this?
just checking, having a look. If there's any little tiny divots, using the same tension as I used when I cut the line. So in other words, the fine end of the comb, because this is how I kind of work. I operate the hair into my fingers rather than pulling and putting too much stress on the hair. So if you're using the fine end to scissor over comb as well, you're almost mirroring the same tension you used before. So you're going to get a really clean result. You won't be altering tensions at all. Very important when you dry the hair off first, because obviously we're working, the idea when you refine hair, it's dry, so it pushes against the comb, which creates the tension that we're after.
Cool. And we've got a quick question from Kim.
Yes.
She says, do you style the client's hair based on their face shape?
Sometimes, yes. Yeah, always look, in the consultation, yes, always. I'm looking at the client's face shape, I'm seeing, where I want to place my weight, where I want to, is she rounded, do I want to slim her down, do I want to, she's very slim, I want to give her some volume, and so on and so forth. If you look at Tracky, she's got a fantastic bone structure, and very oval.
Yeah.
It's a very oval face shape, it's not, I'm never going to come up with any issues here when it comes to, suitability, if you like.
No, yeah.
So, I'm now going to come across the crown. I'm going to take a straight section. I'm going to work a technique. We've worked a couple of times so far, but on this particular shape, we're going to get a slightly different result, obviously, because we're going to wear a curly. So let me just have a look how that's dropping over now. It's brilliant, it's exactly what I want. Just want to have a look at that before I do anything. It's good. So I'm going to elevate high. And I think I'm just checking the line to the previous shape. But I think what I'm going to do is work by just dropping a little bit of the corner off here. Actually, yeah, I am. I'm not going to take too much. It doesn't need a lot. We haven't got a lot of length here. So I'm going to elevate high. I'm going to use the points of the scissors and work through.
So you've sectioned off the front and the back there. So you've got
Yes.
you're going to work two different techniques, or are you going to work?
I am going to work two different techniques. I think I'll work slightly shorter to longer through the front, and then I'm going to work with a surface slicing technique, which is going to apply some texture through the root of the haircut, through the root area, which is going to basically give me more of an expansion. It's almost create like a little bit of a croppy feeling through the crown area, which will be a lot of fun. So when we dress it, it will really, release lots of texture. It'll be beautiful. So each section just working over, travelling. Each section coming back. Our number system we work. Remember, it's 2 to 1, 3 to 2, 4 to 3 for square. So I'm just doing that. Each section being directed to the previous. not very much coming off. I still want to leave this body in the hair. So this is going to be my little bit of weight hanging over the top.
Mm-hmm. Got another question from Shelley. So he says, this one from me, I think. Chris, I'm loving the colour. How do you ensure the colour will complement the cut and vice versa? Thanks for the question, Shelley. I think firstly, really, when you're looking at the two working together, it's important. Andy and I both specialise. So Andy cuts and styles, I colour only. So I think for us, it's really kind of important that we have a bit of a consultation about what's going on. I think when we did the colour on Tracky a couple of weeks ago, Andy and I had a conversation already about what he was planning to do haircut wise, where the focal areas were going to be, where he's going to be leaving some weight and some length, so that we could kind of work with that with the colour. The colour here, like I said, I did a couple of weeks ago, and it sort of faded up a little bit from then, which but it's faded sort of quite nicely, so we're just working with that today.
It's really cool, isn't it? Look at that, it's beautiful.
But I think the two, you know, for me, they do have to kind of go together. So there's elements you've got to kind of look at, but sort of really planning the two to complement each other. And here, you know, Andy's going to have the most texture through the top. We've worked our lighter area in that top area, so that, you know, it's really going to sort of come together and create that texture. We've got Nicolau Ali says hi Nicolau.
Hello, man.
Hope you're good. And guys, please do like and share.
So guys, all I'm doing now is just applied some product to the hair. I've used what we call list control again. It's my favourite product. It's my go-to product for cutting. I use it to obviously keep my sections clean. It's really great for keeping the moisture content in the hair, so it doesn't ever dry out. I like it because it's not too harsh, and I like my curls to be quite. When I'm working with natural curl, I like them to look really natural rather than anything too staged or too crispy. Crispy, if you like. I think crispy is a very strong word. You know, if you're using mousses, you know it's got the alcohol content in the hair, and it dries the hair a little bit more than the creams do.
Got a few comments coming in. We've got Keely Reen France says the colour is amazing. Thanks, Keely. Shelley says thanks, Chris. Ben Russell says Tracky. Big thumbs up for you, Tracky.
Oh yeah. He actually used to be his model. Yeah.
So
I need to ask
yeah.
You're in Australia, so.
Ben over in Melbourne. Hi Ben, hope you're doing well. Anita Doyle says huge congrats on winning Artistic Team of the Year. Well deserved. Love your work from Anita and all at Hugh Campbell. So thanks.
Thank you, Anita.
Thanks, Anita. And we've got Mohammed Al-Saya says wonderful.
Thank you, mate. Appreciate it. So I'm going to literally just start to let the hair start to react a little bit. I'm going to use a diffuser. I'm going to apply a little bit of plea to the hair as well. Plea now is something which is really good, a really good layering product to start creating structure in the hair. You can reapply. It will just start to build the form into the shape.
You've got Ashley Haynes says, morning guys.
Morning, Ash.
He says congratulations as well on the British Hairdressing Awards result.
Thank you very much. Thanks, Ashley. I think you were there with us that day, weren't you?
Ashley was watching from home, I think.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, wait, can you watch it on TV now?
No, I think when I say watching from home, tuning in on Instagram or Twitter to see the results as they come through. And one of the great things about social media, you can share love, great things like this, but also fantastic to see events like that really unfold. You can just see everything happening live almost, can't you? Ben Russell says, congratulations, does that mean you are Hall of Fame now?
Yes, it does.
As of next year, we'll be picking up a trophy to put the artistic team in the Hall of Fame, which is amazing news, isn't it? So Andy, you're using the diffuser to dry off. You also talked a bit about the products, but when you're using the diffuser, any tips? I know it's one of those things, some people are frightened of working with curly hair and drying curly hair. So have you got any tips or tricks that you'd like to share with the guys?
I like to squeeze the hair, but not too much. Just one squeeze in the diffuser. And start to get that curl to manipulate. I think you don't want to be touching the hair too much because you're going to start to make the hair go frizzy. But also, the myth is leave it a little bit wet, that's rubbish. Dry it fully so it's set. So then you can start to manipulate the curl afterwards.
Yeah.
It really is about drying the curl really well. Getting the diffuser right in the root area. I'm just doing this for effect. You see that movement? It's just for effect. You don't need to do it.
I did think, what the hell are you doing?
What is it? Yeah, this is just for effect. Just to make it fun.
You always see people do that, though, don't you?
Yes.
I don't think it does a lot.
Literally just so you can kind of move around the client and have a bit of fun, huh? Great about hair, it starts to really come alive. When did we actually bleach this front? It was 2 weeks ago, you say, yeah?
Yeah, 2 weeks ago we did the colour in the front, and just, you know, obviously you can go back, you can watch the colour being done if you wanted to, guys. We did that on our Rush Academy live.
You did 4 colours, five triangles.
Five different triangles through the front, yeah. Well, remember then, I had to think for a sec. And working with various different colours in there, starting with a dark violet and sort of blending that out. But I think it's faded up quite nicely. You see it sort of working quite well in the front there. And I think that's one of these things. People always ask, what can I do to keep the colour? But I always say it's going to fade.
Yes.
You know, in some ways, I think it's great. 2 weeks later, this still looks fresh and fabulous.
I think it actually looks better. I'm not just saying no, but you know, sometimes when they fade, they just go really light, they're beautiful.
No, it does. It's gone really soft. It's
got lovely, it's gone soft. Exactly, I think that's the word I'm looking for.
Alexandra Newman says, love it guys, well done on the win.
Thank you, Alex.
And she says, how are your heads feeling today?
Not too great, but you know, it's fine.
Yeah, good.
Surviving.
Yeah. They've felt worse.
They felt worse.
But not often.
Yeah. I did say that to the team, and so my boss, Stel, said, look, you've earned this, go and enjoy yourselves. It's the one time a year you can actually, you know, go and celebrate something that's really quite, you know, amazing for us. And we did, you know, we had a good time. Scrunch that front a little bit more, just where the bleach has been applied, just get a little bit more curly to it.
Yeah. It does, where you've got that pre-line section through there, it does make you go a little bit lazy.
Really dry the hair off till it's fully dry.
Alexandra says she misses, it says miss you all, can't wait till you can when she's here next.
Yeah, please come visit Alex.
Alex, we'd love to see you again. Pop down. Be great.
It's an amazing space you can see, isn't it? I mean, we've had a few visitors come down. Obviously, they've seen it on Facebook, or they've seen it on Instagram. If you ever want to just pop in, just have a chat with us. Please come down. We'd love to share and show you the space because it's quite unique. It's not too hairdressery, which I think is quite cool. I mean, the guy, Stel, my boss, who designed the interior, he's got a really good eye for detail.
Yeah.
And I think, you know, come down, have a look at it. It's got some amazing art in it, placed really cleverly into the space. Please come down, share it, come have a look.
Yeah. And anyone, guys, if you're in London, please do pop down. We love to show people around. We love to. We're very proud of the space, aren't we, Anne?
It's lovely to work with.
You know, we're really enjoying working here. We'd love you guys to come and see it. And talk to us about the courses and things like that as well, because, you know, We love to talk about education, we love to share, so please do pop in. So Andy, when you're styling this, are you starting to think about what you're going to do in terms of refining? I know you said you were going to do some...
I am going to do some refining. I'm going to slice through the crown a little bit and start to pick out a few pieces. Work a little bit more freehand. You can see the shape that with the shape of the section I've created. You can see one side slightly more squarer than the other because of the section shape. And that's why I've kind of left this little bit in the back, which I think is really cute actually. Really well.
Got a couple more comments, Andy. Michael Rackett says artistic team of the year, and he's put up 4 trophies. You've got Alexia Board says it's so fresh to see something being done on curly hair. Thank you, Alexia. And you really like working with curly hair, don't you, Andy?
I do. I just like working clean, full stop, and I think whenever you work clean in hair, you're going to get a better result. I mean, all of my peers and my counter people and people that work this way will always go, you work clean sections, clean result, and you're always going to get something that's really unusual, and you're going to get some really great balances in the hair when you work really methodically like this.
Yeah, I think that all comes down, like you said right at the beginning, it all comes down to that planning stage, doesn't it?
Yes. I mean, the plan for me is, the initial plan that's the whole thing for me. Do you know what I mean? Knowing exactly where it's going to go. I want to feel comfortable when I start someone's hair, knowing the result's going to be good, and the plan's set in place. Because for me, it starts in the consultation. You need to get into your client's head, what they want, how they want to achieve it, how much time they're going to spend on their hair. And we also need to know that it's going to work. Everything we do is going to work. And otherwise, if you don't work clean, you're never guaranteeing that.
No.
Never guaranteeing that.
And one thing I think is interesting, you started to dry off some of the underneath earlier on to refine it. Yeah. You didn't fully dry it off.
No.
And I see you're kind of going back through it now, creating a bit more texture in there.
Yeah. Blending it a bit more, yeah. Blending the blow dry, if you like.
And I think that's kind of nice to see. Sometimes you see these sort of graphic shapes through the underneath, and without doing that, I think it can look like 2 separate haircuts.
Yeah, no. I'm now working it all. The whole thing is being worked now. It's a good point actually, Chris.
Shelly Summer as well, back there, she says, Andy, do you have any tips for refining curly hair?
Yeah, I'll show you in a second. I think we're going to work through in individual curls. I'm going to be a bit more random than I am with straight hair. So in other words, it'll be a little bit more kind of just picking pieces out and visually just loosening the shape, if you like. You can be a bit more kind of free with it.
Yeah. Do you think it's less sort of, I think you've got to go a little bit, what's the right word, a little bit sort of stronger with refining curly hair than you would on straight? Or is that just a misconception?
I think you could definitely go into the roots a little bit more. You can take a bit more of a chance there. Obviously with finer, straighter hair, you go in too deep or you go in too much to the root area. Yeah. It really is visible, and it can be a bit harsh, if you like. With curls, it will really hide it. It will cover it up, and you can be a bit more kind of I suppose you can be a little bit more heavy, I suppose, if you like, Chris.
Yeah, sorry, heavy sort of. It's one of those words, isn't it? It's probably the wrong word.
No, I know
I've used, but yeah, I'm loving the shape already, though, Ad. I think
Thanks.
It looks incredible. I hope you guys agree at home. Even without refining it, you've really got a lovely kind of shape, lovely silhouette, and I think the texture in there as well, working nicely with the colour, and hopefully kind of all coming together a little bit now.
Yeah, sure, 100%. You can start to see it kind of working. Using a little bit of clay here, okay, which is a product I use a lot of on curly hair. This is called deviation paste. This is purely to give a bit more texture,
Yeah.
a little bit of separation.
Again, working with Laura Professional products, and as always,
Yeah.
um,
We love L'Oreal. Love their styling range. I think it's just so pliable. And you know, the thing I really like about it as well, you just feel like you can't overuse it. And that's the whole thing about it, which I really like. Can't overuse this product range. You can really kind of it layers so well, you know. So now I'm going to start to really kind of visually work the shape. Oh, thank Chris, my blower. Not my blower.
like your duster.
Duster, there you go.
Yeah,
duster.
sorry, just working around doing your, giving her a little clean up as we go there.
Okay. So now I'm going to just come round to the areas. Sorry, Jack. Just going to start to visually work a little bit to the shape. Keeping this area longer, but just visually connecting it a little bit more. Elevating high, and then just working it away. So this is not going to be connected to the shape at all. It's just literally just start to lift pieces up and start to work some of these areas down and start to texturize the interior shape.
I think this is kind of like, you know, one thing that we always sort of say, you can teach sort of technique, but all this kind of visual stuff really is sort of individual, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
There's techniques to follow, but
I'm just looking at the shape and just seeing where it's slightly heavy.
yeah.
It is very random. I think sometimes, for me, the more random you are with curly hair, sometimes the better the result for me. Because it just creates that really kind of erratic, which creates the texture. Releases the motion in the hair. Last week I promised you that we'd be doing more of a hair up. Unfortunately, Tina got pulled away last minute, so it's going to be postponed to next week, we believe, and we're going to be doing more kind of our festival hair. If you're not festival, what's all that? Party hair. Sorry, festival.
The other type of festival.
More of our party hair next week, which is going to be good fun. So one way or the other, we'll definitely be showing that, you know, because it's Christmas season coming up. For me, you know, I want to share with you some of the stuff that we do when it comes to party hair.
I think it's relevant as well, isn't it? You know, this time of year, people coming into the salon want to have their hair done for a special event, for a special occasion. You know, look, everyone's sort of going out. They don't want to have their hair the same as they do every day. So it really is current at this time of year.
Yeah, 100%. 100%. Just literally these longer pieces now, just freehanding some of them away. Not going to lose them all. Still want it to be a very obvious disconnection in the shape.
Yeah.
I'm going to now apply a little bit more product again. Dry that in a bit in a minute. And you can see now the fullness within the shape. Shracky's hair was originally part of our Tomboy shape collection as well. This is one of our sub-collections this year we did. Obviously the art team we did Lost Rebels, and This was part of our tomboy collection. So we're working very, very square and angular on some of the lines. But then we've got the femininity in the movement and the curl and the body that's placed in the hair with the curl. So it creates beautiful shape.
You've got John Santos says very cool.
Thanks, man. Thanks. Very nice of you.
Yeah, it's really starting to come together now, isn't it, Andy?
Yeah, it's good.
And you're going to like re-blow dry it.
Just a little bit, just squeeze it in a bit more. And I'm going to apply some hairspray.
You guys, like we said to you before, if you've got not just questions, but if you've got any special requests, anything you'd like us to see us do over the next coming few weeks, we're going to be live every Wednesday for a bit, around 10:30 UK time. So if you are kind of wanting to see it, please, any special requests, pop them in the comments box. We'll do our best to do our absolute best to kind of to accommodate that. John Sanders says congratulations on the British Hairdressing Awards win. Thank you, John.
Thanks, John. Really nicely, mate.
Because we do want to, we do take into consideration what you guys say, and we do want to kind of share with you and get the most for the industry. So if you have got those special requests, please contact us, and we'll do our best to accommodate.
Like I say, guys, please come down and see us, contact us. Let's have a collaboration together. Just the hairspray now. Loading her up. Lovely. Love the smell of this one. Very touchable. It's just Airfix from
Royal
Professional.
Yeah.
I'm just going to recap Tracky's hair. So, with Tracky, what we've done. Stand up on me, mate. So we've used our triple C section, which is quite a rectangular shape, if you like. We've started at the back and worked slim sections running towards the front, which is working in a circular manner. My body position was moving around with each section, and then I dropped the hairline away and then elevated the shape slightly higher through the sides, which disconnects this beautiful piece in front of the ear. The opposite side, did the opposite, started at the front, worked a looser angle and dropped a piece behind the ear on this particular side, which gives me that little bit of counterbalance. The top, high, quite square, pointed the hair, and then just drop the front back to behind the crown, just to create that little bit more volume through the front, and work that beautiful colour with conjunction with Chris, and that beautiful colour is created. I hope you liked it today, guys. Honestly, it's been a pleasure as always. Thank you so much for joining us. Have a good one. Have a great week.
Guys, we'll see you next Wednesday. Thanks a lot. And like I said, please, we'll leave the video up now in the on the page, so you can always come back, recommend it to your friends. Please like, please share. A few final things. Ansel Prince from Dominican Republic. Thanks for tuning in. John Santos, we'd love to come to Brazil. And Shelley, thanks for the lovely comment. See you guys soon, and goodbye. Bye, Tracky.
Bye for now.